Attacking the Quran is an attack on all humanity. The Holy Quran is the final divine scripture of the Abrahamic faiths. Billions of people around the world, Muslims and non-Muslims, seek refuge and guidance in Quran. Several verses in the Quran are addressed to men or mankind, not just Muslims. As such, the Quran is a book of guidance for all people. Therefore, attacking the Quran is an attack on all of humanity. Belief and religion are two of humanity's most defining characteristics. Beliefs are subjective assumptions. They deserve nothing but respect as they are beyond criticism. However, there has been a rise in disrespect and crime against the Quran and sacred Islamic values, especially in Western countries in recent years. The most recent atrocities committed against the Quran, unfortunately, reflect the depths of despair into which some Western countries have descended. There are two distinguishing features of this despair. First, for the first time, the world has witnessed crimes against humanity being committed under police protection in places where claimed to have been a cradle for high civic values. Second, the silence of scholars, faith leaders, universities, philosophers, and thinkers who have portrayed themselves as the guardians of universally applicable high humanitarian values, but never seem to actually uphold any of them. Freedom of speech does not protect one's right to insult others or make fun of others' religious beliefs and sacred values. The official attacks on the Quran and the following hypocrisy reveal that the West has never been and still is not a true place of high values, human rights, and freedom. The recent crime and disrespect against the Quran and human values show that the West itself poses a direct threat to world peace and prosperity. It is unacceptable to insult the religious beliefs and sacred values of Muslims. We are deeply concerned that if crimes against the Holy Quran are tolerated and even celebrated as witnessed, this could lead to attacks on Muslims themselves. The official encouragement and enabling of these crimes by governments under the guise of freedom of speech is a threat to international peace and stability. This does not even coincide with the fundamental values of human rights and freedom that the West claims to defend. Burning, destroying, denying people the right to live with their own values are among the barbarisms that should be left in the depths of history. It is obvious that disrespect for the sacred of any religion will trigger enmity, terror, and violence among the nations of the world. The ugly attacks against the Quran deeply upset and injure not only the Muslims, but also all people who respect human values, fundamental rights, and freedoms. In the context of fundamental rights and freedoms, values related to belief should not be sacrificed to individual delusions and ugliness. The world public opinion should be more sensitive in this regard. The Quran encourages a peaceful existence, the protection of all life from birth to death, the observance of everyone's inherent rights, and the avoidance of insults to holy ones of all faiths. Even in times of war, Islam and its supreme book inculcate a morality of war on its adherents. The Quran ensures protection for the oppressed against the oppressor against himself, the weak against the strong, the poor against the rich, and the environment against the greed of humans. The cultures of conflict, disrespect, discrimination, racism, and brutality have no place in our global communities. It is imperative that as world communities, we all should work together to strengthen the culture of reconciliation. Respect for the holy is an indispensable part of living together. Peace and reconciliation keep people alive, beautify the world, and make it more livable. Sacred scripts in general, and the Quran in particular, exist to bring peace and happiness, love and respect and well-being to humanity. In this respect, attacks against Quran should be seen as attacks against the peace of humanity as a whole. Those, including the government officials, who are responsible for the hate crimes committed against the Quran, Muslims, and all of humanity, must be held accountable and brought to justice. If they are sincere, we invite the right-minded scholars, faith leaders, politicians, thinkers, universities, and civil society entities to condemn the attacks and apply pressure on their governments to stop and prosecute these crimes against humanity. To the global communities,